Hi everyone, it's Thursday night. It's time for GGGaming Gone Mad. Well, I don't know about you, but I've had one hell of a Rugby World Cup hangover this past week. It didn't help, of course, that I was quite heavily on the English to win the tournament, but what a great win by South Africa. We can't argue with that. And I know that Gary, who's joining me now as well, will have to agree that South Africa were just the better team on the day. Anyway, on tonight's show, there's plenty of other sport to talk about this weekend. We've got the English Premier League. We'll touch on a bit of rugby, maybe just talk about the betting industry in general. And I'm sure Gary's going to want to tell us a little bit about his poker tournament taking place next week as well. So let's introduce Gary. He's down there on hold waiting for us. Gary Lentin, good to have you back on the show.
Brent, hello, my mate. It's good to be back here as a weekly occurrence. I really enjoy it. So I know you do as well. And I know that we got a 70 to 90,000 viewers that tuned in last week that also obviously enjoying it, you know. So on we go. Yeah, as you can see by my name there, we didn't get things 100% correct last week. I must admit, in my defense, although it was at the time it was against my better judgment, I went back on a lot of my South African bets that we laid, only because I don't want to be the only guy sitting in South Africa shouting against them, mate, Brent.
Yes.
So we played the book quite smart. We were square on South Africa and won a few pound on England, which never happened. So we finished very square on the game. And I must admit, I've enjoyed this week a hell of a lot more as a result of that, because I would have, you know, I really have. I've joined in the festivities and everything, you know what I mean? And I really, you know, they deserve all the accolades. To me, I thought the week before when England beat New Zealand was the best game plan and execution I'd seen for a long time in a rugby match. You know what I'm saying? Hello, evening, guys. But what we saw on Saturday was by far the best game plan and execution of that actual game plan that I've seen in a rugby game ever. And, you know, you can never take anything away from it. The whole thing. You know, I want to ask a question without touching on anything racism, because none of us are racist. I know that, and I don't think anybody that watches the show is. I hope not, okay? But let me ask you a question, just an opinion. Have South Africa won this World Cup with Dwayne Vermeulen as captain, perhaps, right? Or anybody else? Let's not mention names. Anybody other than Siya Kolisi, right? Would the country have got behind it as much as they have with Siya being there? Was he just a perfect captain? You know what I'm saying, Brent? Do you understand what my question is?
No, I understand exactly what you're saying. And I'd have to agree with you, Gary. I think the way things worked out, the fact that Siya Kolisi was captain, I mean, you can remember a couple of months before the World Cup, Siya was battling with injury. And there was that worry that he wasn't actually going to make it. And I don't think it would have been the same without Siya as captain there. And I think he just stepped up perfectly. It's interesting. I know you're not a regular on Twitter, but you know, similar to you, I did hedge out a little bit. I backed Pollard to be top point scorer in the tournament at 15-10 on the advice of the Oracle, I must say. And that was my sort of hedge against England. So I also watched with a lot of Box supporters. I joined in the festivities, perhaps not quite as enthusiastically as everyone else. But after the game, I tweeted virtually word for word what you said now. I actually said in my tweet, I said, I thought last week's game, England against New Zealand, was the most comprehensive performance by an international team I'd ever seen. And I said, I've now seen a better performance 1 week later. That's exactly. And to hear you say that, you and I thought it exactly. We both thought England would win the game ultimately, but we just have to acknowledge that was just an absolute masterpiece by Rassie, perfectly put out by the players.
No, 100%. I'm barely hearing you. I don't know if the guys are battling with either of us, but I heard what you said there in pieces. But the fact of the matter is, my point that I was trying to say, right, I wasn't having a go at anybody. I think that my whole point I was trying to get across was a complete compliment, right? That from day one, Rassie's planning was absolutely spot on. That was the point I was trying to get across, right, Brett? He had the right captain in play, right, in the team, in the right place in the team, to get the whole country to support him. That was my question. That's really what I was alluding to. Had there been another captain, there might have been, I'm not saying they would have, I'm saying there might have been 10 or 12 million people less supporting South Africa, Brent. I'll go back to not too long ago when they didn't want to have test matches in Cape Town because the more supporters supported New Zealand than South Africa, right? That wasn't so long ago. That was 5 or 6 years ago, Brent, that they wouldn't allow South Africa to play the All Blacks in Cape Town because the support was more for the All Blacks, right?
Yes, now I remember that.
Rassie turned that around, right? He turned that around. He chose the right captain, the right leader. Forget about captain. He's a leader. He leads them everywhere they go. They are behind him. There's no jealousy when he's always with the trophy and doing most of the press conference. You can see the guys are reveling in his joy as well, Brent? So my point is this, that from choosing the right captain to getting to Japan before everybody else, he was just he's a master tactician, and I mean, his planning was exemplary. And I mean, the truth be told, he's going to be a very, very proud man, and rightly so, until the day he dies, because it was a hell of an achievement by Rassie. It was a hell of an achievement by all of them. You know what I mean? And as proud as he is, of course, he is going to be as proud and everything, and he deserves as much glory as Rassie does and everything. You know what I mean? He perhaps came into a little bit of criticism himself, and he stood up and he fought through it all. And they just every single accolade they get, they thoroughly deserve. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth, though.
Well, it's just interesting. I see Oracle in the live chat asking me why I'm drinking water. Can't I afford beer after the weekend's betting? First of all, Gary, 100% in agreement with you on Rassie. I think he planned it perfectly. Just talking of beer, I saw some guys making the point on Twitter that Rassie should never have to buy another beer in South Africa again, because every time he goes into a pub, someone is going to offer to buy him a beer for what he's done for South African rugby.
Yeah. But I mean, like we said, I mean, it was just brilliant. But and he also did take he's taken a bit of flack in his life, Brent? Let's be honest, by the South African public, you know what I'm saying? And in those early days, getting beaten by Argentina, and you know what I mean? I'm not saying that I wasn't on the bandwagon saying that, you know what I mean? That I never said anything bad about him, but I was certainly on the bandwagon saying they're a crap side and they can't win the World Cup. You know what I mean? I've also now got to say that I was totally wrong, and I was wrong because they stepped up. Every single one of them stepped up, and so you know what I mean. Rassie, the truth. He'll never buy beer in this country again. He'll never have to, and neither will anybody in that team, Brent. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't even, at the end of the day, we have no idea what goes on behind the scenes. There were guys there that got half an hour of rugby against, people that don't care. You know what I'm saying? For the rest of his life, one beer is not going to last him for the rest of his life. So every time you see him, you have to buy beers till he's drunk, just so you understand the rules. But but the thing is that every single one of them, even the guys that didn't play in the 23 on the final or the semi-final, Brent, doesn't matter really. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth. At the end of the day, they do their job behind the scenes, and it's really, they deserve every single bit of, happiness and joy and pride and financial benefits that they get from this game, including the one free beer from Oracle. You know what I'm saying?
Excellent. Yeah, well, Oracle, that's it. And he's actually buying Pollard 3 because he was big on him. So, Gary, I just wanted to quickly run through the winners from last week. We had the 10 scoring plays. I must tell you that we had prizes from 5 correct scoring plays in the first 10, up to obviously the big one at 10. And 3 guys got incredibly close. We had 3 guys with 4 out of 10. And it was amazing to look at it. Some of them hit it early with the right combination of penalties, but then they started going for tries. But it was a very interesting competition, and I think if we do a big one in the future, say in Super Rugby, and that we must try that again. It wasn't, guys weren't without a chance. Certainly, getting 7 or 8 was not impossible. Particularly if you think that I think the first 10 scoring plays were all penalties in the game, so it was just a question of pegging the order there. But just to run through the winners last week, we had Cerebral Assassin. He got the shirts right in the AB shirt spot on. He got 2,000 Rand voucher. Donovan Vera, he got a 2,000 voucher. Mapimpi first try, and this is Gavin Cohen, Oracle. Got to give him credit. He got Mapimpi first try, Colby last try, and he split the last try with or the first try, sorry, with Vin Naidu. So well done to all the boys. There were some big vouchers given out last week, and guys, I hope you've managed to turn those vouchers into some even bigger money.
That would be fantastic if they do, Brent. That would be marvelous. And definitely, if you go through this, right, some of the things that we've learned just from our show and from a betting perspective, right, we got a lot of new fun bets that we worked out, Brent. I see you're not so shy. You prepare to drink it out of a glass. What I've done, because things are so bad, I fill up this bottle of water. Where's my camera? I've been using the same bottle since Saturday night. I just keep it good. But so I wanted to act flush like I could still afford mineral water, but those days are gone. No, the truth is that we learned a lot of really fun bets, and we saw what the guys enjoyed, Brendan. There's no doubt about it. There's space for shirt numbers. Guys like try scorer shirt numbers. There's no doubt about it. The 10 scoring plays. Why don't we, next year or Super Rugby, just do it. Choose a game in like a Friday game and a Saturday game, Brent.
Yes.
Do it. Start off small, right? Start off small. Like whatever it is, like 100, 1,000 Rand, right? Yeah. But every week, just keep growing and growing and growing until somebody catches it, right? Like a jackpot. And then just to keep the continuity and the people interested all the time, what we'll do, even if they don't win, we'll run a log. And at the end of the time, we'll make sure that the guy that gets the most points or gets whatever it is, we'll work it out between you and I. We always do. But I like that. I must be honest with you. when I was seeing the penalties going 1/1, 1/1, and I was starting to think, yeah, you never find somebody, you never mind. Somebody could be thinking penalty. If there's no try, could be in a lot of crap. That's what I started to think, you know what I mean?
Yeah, you messaged me after the game, eh?
Then I started to think, maybe I'm going to get out of it. Well, hold on, will I get out of it? Is there going to be an argument if they're not 10 scoring players? That started to come into play soon after the second half. I think where did they go into half-time, Brent? Was it 9-6?
Yeah, it was 12-6. They scored a penalty just before the break.
Yeah. And I started thinking, well, no, there might not even be 10 players. Then there are going to be a few objections, But fortunately, there were a lot more than 10 scoring players. And we definitely going to continue with this one next year in some format, even before next year. I think I had a lot of fun in this Rugby World Cup. I loved it. I love to say that I love the Cricket World Cup as well, Brent. I really did. You know what I mean? And we've just had such a feast of sport this year. You know what I mean? And to think that we got to wait 4 more years for that. You know what I mean? Oh. Yeah, we get the Olympics next year. Yeah, we'll have a lot of betting on that. Let's have a bet on who wins the shot put. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? That's hell of exciting. Or let's have a bet on which woman from some Eastern Bloc country in the world gets caught with more steroids in her than anybody else. You know what I mean? There's a great shooting competition. The 12 guys with pellet guns shooting at a target. But anyway, I'm sure we'll find some stuff that's fun to bet on there. And hopefully there'll be a few South African athletes that, build on what the South African rugby team did and can go there and bring home a gold medal or something. You know what I mean? That would be good going as well, I know I'd like to back in a marathon. Not that I'm a marathon expert, but that runs him in an hour and 59.
Yes.
I'd like to get a little 4 to 10, him winning the marathon.
Jeez, yeah, that's it. I mean, the way that guy looked at the end of that marathon, Gary, I didn't look like that at the end of my 3K walk that I went on this evening.
No, it was unbelievable, And one thing for sure, I've gone back into training, I've been on this detox now over 2 weeks. There's Euro football next year. That is true. And I'll tell you something, Brent, that, I've been getting all this energy and thinking, I'm a machine. And I went back to gym the other day, and I tell you, I promise you, I'm never going to be invited to be a second to the guys that run to keep him going. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because after 11 minutes on the treadmill, the gym started to spin around. Noises were coming into my ear. I promise you now, the swimming pool downstairs looked like a Turkish bath with all these hot chicks in it. No, it was an absolute nightmare. So I got to really start pulling myself together again in the training situation. But like I said, we came up with some nice bets and we saw what the guys like, Brent. And we got to just find a way to, the secret is now to bring new people into it, to bring new people into our show. You know what I mean? Put maybe you and we got to sit down when I'm in Joburg next week and, find a way to bring new people in, because the people that watch it love it. That's the truth, Brent. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, no, for sure.
It's, and it's not only, the benefits of, the free bets and this and that. That's not what the only thing it's about. They get the benefit of seeing what you and I like, and if we both like the same thing, knowing that they can back the other side with some total confidence.
With absolute confidence. And Gary, moving on to this weekend, English Premier League's probably the highlight. We've got the big game, isn't it? Liverpool playing City this weekend.
Well, that's obviously the big one, right? And it's going to dominate everything. So let's see where those two sides are, right? They've both been, in my opinion, a little bit shaky. There have been cracks in both of their armories in the league recently. But I could easily get this wrong, and there's going to be a lot of chat, a lot of criticism. But if I remember correctly, 2 weeks ago, Liverpool struggled to beat Crystal Palace at home, and last week I think they struggled to beat Aston Villa at home. I think they came from a goal down on both occasions, Brent, just to win 2-1. So the cracks are there. Man City, we know that there are problems there. There's no doubt about it. They were really rubbish last night, And also last week, I think Man City were a goal down. Maybe it was a guy in Southampton that came back to win 2-1. And they were really, really poor in the first 45 minutes. So I don't think that these teams are both on the top of their form, to be perfectly honest with you. You know what I mean? These are the things you need to ask us, and we will do that, you know what I'm saying, for sure. And that's what the show is all about, And we'll get on to the Leicester game now, because I think it's going to be the best game of the year for Arsenal, and I'll explain to you now. And Henrik, I must also just apologize. I thought that referee, by the way, had an outstanding game, 10 out of 10, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not even going to have that deal with you anymore and discuss why I didn't like him. I think all the wrongs I thought he maybe did in his career, he righted them this week. So I think that the Liverpool Man City game, honestly, I think that's going to be a high-scoring game. And I think my tip is let's go for the value as punters, boys. Let's go for a 4-2 Liverpool, something like that, eh, Brent?
Yes, quite a high scoring. Let's have a look at your. I'm just having a look at the. I see it's quite evenly. The bookies. We're looking at your odds here. You've got City 17-10 and Liverpool 16-10. So struggling to separate the sides, Gary.
Yeah, well, what we did is I think we went for our price boost on City today. I'm just going to get on the site. I'm not sure if it's up there yet, but I'm pretty sure that's what we did. I'm not sure. In my opinion, I chose the price boost. I don't know why City deserve to be joint favourites with Liverpool at Liverpool. I don't think there's a lot to choose between the two sides. I think if anything, Liverpool are a slightly better side so far this season, and they're at home. So here we go. Liverpool versus Man City. Man City to win was 14-10, now 17-10. So we're the biggest price in the world on Man City at 17-10. If you like them, I don't. Then come have a go at GGGaming. You're not going to get a better price anywhere in the world. And then, onto that Leicester-Arsenal game, what Vin was discussing there. I've got a price boost on that game as well. I boosted Arsenal, the double chance, Arsenal in the draw. To pretty close to even money, which means that I've done it to 19-20, which means you'd be effectively laying me slightly better Leicester to win, If you told me that at the beginning of the season, I would have thought you're mad. I would have thought Arsenal got to be much, much too good for Leicester, but they're not. They're not as good as Leicester so far this season. The table's not lying at this stage of the season. And, the fact is, I think it's going to be the most important game for Arsenal. I think the best thing that can happen to them is if they get hammered. Because I think that the coach, the manager, Emery, I think that he's on a very slippery sort of road right now, Brent. I think that if they go and get hammered by Leicester, then Arsenal are going to turn around and say, well, hold on. How do we now, with this manager, get back into Europe? We're not going to do it this season. So it's another season of this crap. And then I think that the pressure on the board is going to start mounting very quickly. And I think that if Arsenal get beaten on Saturday, Emery will go. And I think that they will bring in Mourinho. And I think that that's what Arsenal needs. They need a bigger personality there. Somebody who can choose. I don't know how much you follow Arsenal football, but the guy went at the beginning of the 6 matches. He still hadn't announced a captain yet. So he goes and he announces 5, right? And then everybody says you can't have 5 captains, which is understandable. So he chooses 1, and then he fires that one 2 weeks later because the crowd hated. There's been a circus there, and yeah. Anyway, sorry. So I shouldn't have been rambling on. What else? What do you got to say there, Brent?
No, well, actually, I do. I do follow, and I follow Piers Morgan on Twitter, who's got however many million followers, and he's a big Arsenal fan. And I enjoyed it when Arsenal were battling, and he was Wenger out. But now he's actually, I think, wishing Wenger was back in, quite frankly. But I enjoy following him in that sense. And Gary, what do you like best bet-wise on the weekend, though? I must say, I like Liverpool. I think Liverpool 16-10. Like you, I don't think there's much between the sides, but I think Liverpool at home, you got to give them an edge.
So let's go this. My best bets. I like Liverpool a lot. I like Leicester a lot, right? So let's go for a few bets. Let's go for the bigger price, Liverpool and Leicester to both win. Let's go for the double chance, Leicester and the draw, Liverpool and the draw. Those are the two of the big bets. Let's go for the next double, both teams to score yes in both games, and let's go for over 2.5 goals in both games, that double as well. So basically what we're saying, there are going to be a lot of goals. The 2 home teams will win, but we've covered ourselves a little bit in case the away sides do perform. You know what I mean? We've got the both teams to score the over goals. So I like that. That's what we're going to do, Is Sean talking about us?
He could be, Hopefully it's Arsenal. I'm sure Sean, maybe let us know. I'm sure you're going to be going for Liverpool there, Sean. I've got no doubt. Sean's not too happy, though, that I've tipped Liverpool, as you can see. He reckons I've cursed him. Hey, Gary, are we going to run an English Premier League comp on one of the games, maybe on the Liverpool City game?
Yeah, definitely. Let's go for that. Let's have a couple of bets on that game. We've got to do a couple of giveaways on that one. Let's go for time of the first corner. Have to be at it exactly right, Brent, for 1,000.
Okay. How much?
Time of the first goal and who the goal scorer will be for 2,000. Give the guys 3 minutes either side.
Time of first goal and who the goal scorer is, and 3 minutes either side.
Yeah, and then let's go for First goal scorer and last goal scorer can be the same guy. 2,000 Rand on that one. And let's just go for a simple one where everybody that gets it right gets 250 Rand voucher. Just give us your score, who you predict will win, and you know what I'm saying, and what you think who you think will win, and what the score will be. And that we're not going to share it. Let's actually make it 400 Rand a person, and we don't split it. Everybody that gets that, Brent.
Everybody gets it right. Obviously, one entry per person. The entry's starting to come in here. Vidnadu. So this one you got to get spot on the corners. Second minute, 5th minute for Gerard Oosthuizen. Dani's going 7, 8 for Sean. So they're coming in here. Just quickly run through those again, Gary. So we've got first corner, first goal scorer, and who's going to score, and that's got to be within 3 minutes, eh?
Yeah, that's a yes, exactly. And then it's everybody that gets the score right and who the winner's going to be, and then it's a double the first and last goal scorer. We'll have to watch the show.
Excellent. There we go.
Was, you know.
Emil's got his down in one shot there.
Okay, excellent. So yeah, that's what we'll do on that game, and then let's just do something on the Arsenal game. Let's go. Let's go this way. Give us all your goal scorers in the particular order that they're going to score. So that one's going to be. It sounds tough, but it's not that tough, Brent. Because think about it. You might think, well, you got to go this one. You might be 1-0. You could just go for Abayong to be your first goal scorer, right? You know what I mean? And the only one. So it's not as difficult as it thinks. You know what I'm saying? So let's do that for the Arsenal game. You know what I mean? Everybody that scores a goal, and let's do that. The person that gets it right will give them 1,500, Brent.
Okay. So to name the goal scorers in the Arsenal game.
In the correct order.
The correct order, okay.
Like I said, it might be impossible, but it could very well be easy if it's only 1-0 or 2-0, even if it's 2-1, you know, it's not as difficult as it sounds. I think that's pretty much, you know what I mean, everything that...
Steven Gerrard.
See, this is what happens to people, right? You remember the last time Gerrard scored a goal, same time last time South Africa won the World Cup before this time, 2007, very clever, you know. But yeah, so I think that's all pretty much... That's pretty much the Premier League, Brent. And I mean, it does. I know you said there's a lot to do, but it's very much this is, I think, a weekend for relaxing when it comes to sports betting and horse racing and everything. You know what I mean? There's a hangover, let's be honest, from last weekend. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We got to that's cool. I think that's okay this week, not to get, you know what I mean, have as much activity involved in the thing. Sean turned into a comedian, you know what I mean? Maybe Trevor Noah turns it up one day. Sean can get a job on the night show, whatever they call it, you know? But there we go.
Yeah, so the guys are coming in. As you say,
I helped Robert. I did help Robert, you know? He had a slight problem. I'm not going to get too involved in it. You know, he phoned me the one day. He said he's got this feeling, right? And, you know what I mean? I went back and I Googled it and everything. I said to him, Robert, go to the toilet, push as hard as you can, and when the feeling comes back, don't back Australia. When the feeling's gone, don't back Australia. Because if I had a feeling Australia were going to beat somebody, you know, we're going to beat England. But he got rid of that feeling by going to the toilet and slowly easing it out. And I think we saved him some money there, you know. But
definitely saved him some bucks.
But I mean, there's Robert, one of our good friends and big supporters, you know what I mean. And let me tell you, Robert's when it comes to finding horses at 6, 7, 8 to 1. Robert's not bad at that, you know. He finds his fair share of winners at 6 to 8. I think he caught us for a winner once at 33 to 1 or 40 to 1. Robert, you'll remember the story. You know what I mean? He fixed us up nicely one day. So
Robert, give us a winner for the weekend. Let him I'm asking Robert to give us a winner in the live chat for the weekend and the racing, the horses.
Yeah, let him do that. You know what, Brent? And I was thinking about it. I know we mentioned it before, right? I don't know if there's any interest. So they had a ready-to-run sale in Joburg where only these horses from that race qualified to run in a big race and everything. And one trainer in particular said to me there were 2 horses that he really, really liked. And I bought 50% of each horse. And so the total of the horse, bear in mind there's still VAT that has to be added on. And certain supplementary things. But the one horse cost 30,000, my share was 15. The other horse cost 100, my share was 50. So 65, I think it's going to come to probably plus VAT and everything. We're going to get close to 100 grand for the 2 horses, probably not. But 100 grand would certainly get us 3 or 4 months of feed. and keep. And remember, these are ready to run horses. And if they don't live up to the promise or what our expectations, we'll get rid of them fairly quickly. But let's do this. If the guys want to get involved, I'd be more than happy if they want to. If anybody wants to get involved at, say, 10 grand a share, right? And that's going to get you 10% of each horse, right?
Right.
Or no, will that get you 10% of my share? Yeah, I'm in for 100.
So, Gary, is it possible to do, is it possible, let's just say we set it up that there was like a good for the game share, let's call it 20%, whatever it is. Is it possible that we then divide it between more guys? Because I think we might get some guys who will take 10 grand, but we may also have quite a lot of guys who'd just like some small involvement in maybe 5 guys chipping in for the 10 grand together or something. We could coordinate that on our side.
Now let's do this. Let's ask for 100 grand, right, Brent? Okay.
Right.
100 grand. And you can take any shares that you want. But let's say at a minimum of let's say that you've got to take 2.5 grand minimum, all right? Brent?
Okay.
Right. But anything of that, right? And we give the guys until next week. I'm going to tell you the 2 lots now. And they were both chosen by a trainer, and he looked after the one horse. And they were both his picks. I had no influence over it. They're both fillies. And then what we'll do is form a good for the game syndicate. We'll take the horse out of my colours, right? We'll make it a good for the game syndicate, right? And the nominee can be the person that takes the biggest share after me, because I'll obviously take up all the slack, Brent, right?
Yes.
But we've done it to run in my colours, right? The person that takes the biggest share after me can be the nominee for the good for the game syndicate, and we'll go from there and see what happens.
Okay, excellent. What I'll do is I'll put a little piece together on the Good for the Game forum. I actually did start a thread a while ago, and the reason I was mentioning that is we actually had a lot of interest, a lot of guys saying they'd like to get involved, and I think it's a great way to get guys involved in horse racing as well. Yeah,
this would be a lot of fun, and what we'll do is every time we go to the course, all the guys will stick in their little chop, whatever. We'll back the fillies, you know what I mean? We'll take pick sixes. We'll do all types of stuff. I mean, I think we can have a lot of fun with it. I'll give you my word. That's a very interesting question. I'll tell you that now, what I think about that. I just want to go to the horses now. And you know what I mean? We'll make a lot of fun. I mean, and obviously, Brent, you'll go there and choose good for the game colours. I don't know if you've got or not.
Yeah, we'll find out. We'll do something along similar to our logo, perhaps.
Okay, so yeah, we'll do that. So the lots that I bought, I mean, I could show you the horses walking around the ring. They're at the trainer already. So I bought lot 32. It's a coup de grace filly, and I bought lot 96, which is a Ferrari filly. And like I said, they were both chosen by Lucky Hoodalakis, who's really a great guy to race with. I mean, he's just one of the boys, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He calls everybody China because that's what he believes they are, you know what I'm saying? And he's just really one of the boys. He trains in Joburg there, and well, in the Val. And the truth is, you can go there anytime and look at those. I really think we can have a lot of fun with this, Brent. That's the truth. And you know what I mean? We may show a profit, and we may not. But one thing's for sure, we'll have a lot of fun doing it. You know what I mean? So let the guys get involved, and let's go from there.
Excellent. I think it's a great idea. We'll coordinate it all. You and I'll be in touch. Are you up in Joburg next week for your poker as well, Gary?
Yeah, the poker's coming. Can we just touch quickly? We get on the poker now. Just want to touch quickly on the President's Cup. The quick answer is yes. I think that Woods will choose himself as a player captain tomorrow. I mean, because if you have to be perfectly honest, right? If anybody in their right mind was choosing a USA team, you would have Tiger Woods in it in current form, right? It's not a question of being egotistical or anything like that. The fact is that he's definitely in the top 12 players in America right now. Not even close. He falls into the top 3 or 4. There's no doubt about that. So why not choose himself? He's done everything else that's ever been asked for him in golf. You know what I mean? I think it would be pretty cool, and I think it would be super. There you go, Robert. I'm sure going to get involved. I hope so. I think Woods will be super efficient and effective as a player and as a captain at the same time. You know what I'm saying? That's the truth. I mean, he's not like Mourinho, who would choose himself to be a player as a captain as well. You know what I mean? Even if he can't play anymore. But yes, yeah. Okay. So right, jump onto the poker. Right. So, and remember, I think next week, Brent, we're going to talk more about the state of the nation as far as sports betting is concerned. We said we're going to do it. I've just been rambling on tonight. But yeah, so the poker tournament starts next week, Friday at Empress Palace, which is event 1. It's a 5,500 Rand buy-in. If anybody wants to see what our schedule is or what we've got on offer or anything about us, go have a look there at shuffleuppoker.com or Queen10, QUEEN, T and the number 10.com. But go to shuffleuppoker.com, go to the schedule, go to the structures. You'll see that it's really a world-class event and everything. But event 1 kicks off next Friday night. 5,500 Rand buy-in. We've decided at GGGaming, if you'd like to have a go, we'd like to sponsor you, Brent, if you're prepared to play. So you'd get, and there's a 4,500 Rand, one extra sort of bullet as extra protection, right? So what we'd like to do is we'd like to give you the 10,000 Rand, right? You go there, play on GGGaming's behalf on this condition. If you win, you keep a third. If you get another third, if whatever you cash, a third goes to you, a third goes to charity. If you're happy with that.
I'm more than happy with that. That sounds great, Gary.
And the third goes to the guys that are watching the show next week, Friday, next week, Thursday night. They just got to give their name, and everybody that gives their name is going to have a share in your third of whatever you cash. They're going to get an equal share of that. I think that's pretty cool, don't you, Brent?
I think that's excellent, eh? And just as a matter of interest, Gary, that what sort of if you get the numbers you're expecting, what sort of first prize would you expect in a tournament of that nature?
The first prize probably, I mean, if I go look at my site quickly now, let me go have a look here because I know that the girls pay special attention to this, Brent, seeing who last year's winners were and everything. I would imagine, I can't even type on this thing here. I mean, the first prize definitely going to be, so let's say, it's going to be over 400, 500,000. You know what I'm saying, Brent? Definitely, you know. So even if you pick up 500K, 160,000 Rand to the boys on the site, you know what I mean? Nothing wrong with that for doing nothing, just sending you. You know what I mean? You can be the Sia Khaleesi of poker, Brent. You can get up on the stage, you know what I mean, and say that all the messages and the videos you got inspired you to get to these great heights and everything, and you owe everything in poker, you know what I mean? And you can just call me Rusty, you know. But yeah, I mean, maybe we rugby idiots, but maybe we're not such poker idiots, Brent. But so what we'll do is next week, Thursday, I'll do the show. I'll be at Emperor's, right?
Right.
You can do it from home. But what we'll do is we'll shoot a couple of interviews. We're doing live updates from the poker, right? So you'll be able to stream live updates. So the guys need to go and watch. That's critical. They need to go watch and participate and shout you home, Brent. But we'll give them all the logins next week. And we'll kick off with probably one of the first interviews will be you, and you know what I mean, what your strategy is, and you know what I mean,
yes.
How you know what I mean, to take down the bigger names and all that. And yeah, I mean, I don't feel the pressure of, you know what I mean, the entire site behind you. But yeah, get it up on your site, write a couple of articles, what you're going to do training-wise, dart-wise for the next week, you know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I mean, start preparing how you let everybody know on Saturday that you're already out and they didn't get bugger all from you, you know? But let's see what happens.
Just a quick one, Gary. Years ago, was actually at, I think it was at, no, it was at that casino out by the Vaal there. I forget which one it was.
Emerald.
Emerald. It was the Emerald. And Neil Andrews and I got, I think you sponsored us in, didn't you, Gary? It was back then.
Oh, longer, right?
We had a competition between the two of us, and I got through there was like a rebuy, but we started the knockout stages, the freeze out. And on the second hand, I ended up going all in with my pocket kings, and I got beaten by pocket aces. I'll never forget tapping Neil Andrews on the back and saying, I'm gone, I'm out. I didn't even make it to the main day, if you know what I mean. I was gone on that first night, but let's hope I can show better form. Patience is not my virtue, but thanks for the opportunity. It's gonna be great fun, and hopefully I can do it for the boys.
Yeah, no, that would be great, Brent. I mean, I think that if you think about it, right, maybe without using cliched words and you know what I mean, sort of words that are popular now, like of what was the word I've already forgotten, community and all that type of stuff. Maybe we are creating a GG Gone Mad community. I mean, you certainly got one already on Good for the Game, and you deserve it. You put a hell of a lot of time and effort into it, you know what I mean, and a lot of thought, and you do a great job there. But, you know, this can also work, Brent, where we get guys to be supporting you in the poker. It costs them nothing to do that. And let's see, I sincerely hope that we get, you know what I mean, a dozen guys to get involved in this horse, because I promise you now, if we do, the first time each one of them run, we'll be hiring a box at Turfentine. And you know what I mean? If we get the good muzzle that, you know what I mean, they get into that R1 million race. Brent, I promise there's not going to be more people shouting louder than the, you know what I mean, the Good for the Game guys, you know? So let's see where we go. You know what I mean? Put it on the site. Put both things on your site. You've got there. If you go to bsa.co.za, Brent, bsa.co.za, and go look there under the archives, You'll see from there, you'll be able to see who the horses are, they're breeding, get it up on the site there. Like I said, we're selling 10% for 10 grand each. And we got 100 grand. So that's, remember, Sonny, that's 10% of our 50%, hey guys.
Yes,
but you get both horses, right? You get your shares of both horses. It would have paid for your feed probably for the next 3 or 4 months. So there's no more expenses for the next 3 or 4 months, and we go from there. Why not have a good for the game GGG poker tournament? The only problem is, I recall that all poker tournaments need to take place at a legal venue for me to be involved because of the licenses that I hold. But yeah, we could certainly do something at Emperor's one day. Let's see how Brent goes, and let's see the following that Brent gets, you know? And if there's a real interest in everything, and you know what I mean, we get onto the live chat next week, or not from this one, the one on Shuffle Up Poker. You know what I mean? And there's a lot, there's, you know what I mean, like 30 or 40 of you shouting at home. Then we'll see what type of following there is, and we'll certainly consider that. Let me just have a sip of my tap water out of my mineral water bottle. Thank you very much, Saddle.
Excellent. Well, I think I'm going to have quite a bit of support there, Gary. And yeah, maybe at some stage we can maybe run a competition for the boys on the poker or something like that. I think there's quite a correlation between sports betting and poker at the end of the day.
There is, you know what I'm saying? I mean, at the end of the day, it's all, you know what I mean? A lot of people call poker sport. And I mean, there's a lot of correlation. You know what I mean? You have to have guts. You have to stick by the things you believe in, even if it's going against you sometimes. You know what I'm saying, Brent? You can't just bail. If you're going to watch a rugby match and just bail every time it looks like it's going against you in an in-play situation, you're going to do your money, right? I mean, that's the truth. You've got to stick with what you believe. And it's the same in poker. You know, you start off with aces and the flop might come 7, 8, 9 of diamonds, and you don't have a diamond. Somebody bets, you know, you have to stick with your beliefs there. You know, does he have 2 diamonds? Does he have a straight? Does he have a set? Or are my aces good? You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is, let's say you think your aces are good and the next card comes with 2 of clubs. Now, if he bets again, you got to stick with what your plan was. Am I right, Brent? I mean, you committed to thinking that he didn't have it there. The 2 of clubs didn't help him. He wasn't playing with a pair of 2s, you know. So, you know what I mean? It's you got to. There is a lot, and I mean, it'd be interesting to see how you go. You know what I mean? You'll definitely. I think you'll fare well. I think you're going to cash that, Brent. I'm tipping you for 13th place and a cash of 19,995 rand.
I love that call, Gary. I love it. But Gary, I better end the show there for tonight. We've had a great chat. Look forward to chatting with you next week. We will, of course, be talking rugby. I know Oracle's going to want to have a few words with me about last week because he was very bullish on the box. And in fact, Oracle, I must say, I've still got to pay some money across to you as well. I'll do that tonight. And Gary, it's been great having you on the show, and look forward to seeing you next week at the poker as well.
Well, we'll talk on Thursday before the poker, and I'll see you Friday. All the guys that get involved, have some fun with us. Let's form a strong team and have a great punting week. Brent, thanks, my brother.
Excellent, Gary. We'll see you next week. Thanks very much. And to all the boys on the live chat, thanks very much for watching. Keep an eye on the Good for the Game site. We'll have an article on the horse racing syndicate. I really want to get involved in that. I think it'll be great fun and a great opportunity for socializing as well amongst the Good for the Game. And then, let's support me in the poker. Maybe I can bring something home for the guys as well. Guys, thanks very much. I'm going to stop it there now. Subscribe if you haven't done so yet. And join us in about 7 minutes for the handicap rugby chat that matters.